Hey everyone, it's Andy here. And just wanted to give you an update today on some updates from the Virginia Employment Commission, the VEC. They've published a pretty detailed update on their payment of the enhanced unemployment programs. That's PUA, PEUC, and FPUC, which is a $300 extra weekly payment. I thought I'd go through their update and then just what I've tried to do is summarize what this update is. So you'll see here that I've actually tried to summarize all the dates they are. But before I get into this, I just wanted to go through their updates and just give you a sense of what updates and what dates. I know there are a lot of people waiting to see when they'll get their benefit payments, and they've already been now 2 weeks since the legislation was approved. So hopefully this will help you and give you a bit of a summary. And I know the information may not be easy to interpret. So once I show the table at the end, hopefully that'll make the dates clear as well. Again, I don't work for the VEC. This is just my opinion. I've just provided this based on information I'm seeing. I would always recommend you go check your UI portal and official sources, and hopefully the information here is useful for you. As always, if you like what you see here, please consider hitting the subscribe button below and then like the page. That just helps me keep growing this site. So just jumping over to the VEC page, and you'll see it here. It's published on the vec.virginia.gov, so you can have a look at it for yourself, and I'll put links in the description below. But they had a good update today. A lot of people are getting a lot of comments on my main site, www.savingtoinvest.com, asking about what's happening with their payments. And this is a complicated rollout, even though it's an extension to existing programs based on if you had an active claim as of December 27th. And that's the key date. That's when the CARES funding ran out and this new continued assistance to unemployment workers, the COVID relief bill essentially. It started from December 27th. So it really uses that date as a differentiator. You may see December 26th, it includes December 26th and before, and then December 27th and after is when the new legislation passed in. So always consider when it says, are you an active claimant or you've exhausted your benefits as of the date of December 27th. So that's what you should be considering when you read through this. So they've broken it up by the different claimant groups, as you can see here. If you can scroll down and read this yourself as well, but I've summarized it in the table that I just showed you, and I'll go to it after this as well. But you can see here they've sort of said by the PEUC. So this is the first group. If you look at the PEUC programs, so they're basically saying for these two groups of claimants, and remember PEUC is for those who are able to qualify for state unemployment, extended benefits. This was extended by 11 more weeks, a total of 24 weeks. PUA is for freelance gig workers, those who don't qualify for regular state unemployment, which means they won't get PUC or EB automatically. So those are the two broad groups of people in the enhanced unemployment programs. So what they're saying is here, these are sort of, if you did not exhaust your 13 weeks as of the December 26th date, you're considered, which means you're essentially an active claimant. You can continue to claim additional weeks. So you're allowed to go into your UI portal and claim additional weeks. They've said that they are going to implement the changes that allow these extended benefits to be paid by 1/8. And so they said here, this update was 5 days late, not surprisingly, but they said now that people are able to, in this category of claimants, should be able to now go in and claim the remaining weeks with a benefit, and payment will be issued, eligible week. Again, it's retroactive to the week ending January 2nd. So if you got benefits, you'll be able to go now and file a claim, and you should get a retroactive payment for the current week plus the previous week when the program went into effect. For PUA claimants who are active claimants who did not exhaust their weeks as of December 27th, they're still thinking 1/14 is going to be the date when they'll have the system updated. That's what VEC is saying. My guess is, and I'll show you my table, is I think this is going to actually go into next week. And the reason is they'll have the implementation done, then they have to start allowing people to file claims, and then payment will happen the week after. Now, the 18th is Martin Luther King Day, which is a federal holiday, which means no one will be working. Banks won't be processing. So I think it'll go to the 19th, the earliest, before you'll see any payments if you're an active PUA recipient. So you should keep certifying, and so you should keep claiming additional weeks if you as soon as that system allows you to. But I don't think you get payment until next week. Again, these are the two categories for PEUC and PUA who did not exhaust their benefits as of December 27th. So this last statement here is the FPUC, which is a $300 weekly payment that's in effect till March 14th. Again, it's all 11 weeks, starting from the week ending January 2nd. December 27th to January 2nd is the first week. They have basically now said that this will be being paid now. So this was implemented again, sort of probably a couple of days late. The FPUC benefit is now being paid to, those essentially those people who have regular UI and PUC. And the reason is you have to get $1 of unemployment from these existing programs. So if PUA is not eligible, you can't go and put a claim in because the system's not ready, so you can't get the $300 payment either. But because regular UI and PUC can now start filing ongoing claims for the additional weeks, they can keep claiming every week or keep certifying as some may know it. They can now get the $300 payment. And again, this will be added as of people who can claim from this week. So they should start seeing the previous weeks and this week's payment as well. So about $600 all up. It may take some time for the retroactive payments to come through. You may get it the following week, but it means that it's coming. So which is a good sign because people are really desperate for this cash in their pockets. So again, active claimants should see all their payments starting from next week, no matter which program you're in. Obviously, PEUC and FPUC already rolled out. PUA will, I think, come next week, even though they're saying it'll be ready by 1/14. If they do it, great, but I would probably plan for it to happen next week. Now, there are still other groups, and this is the groups probably that, they're probably, I would argue these are the larger groups and people who really need the money even more. This is, again, the people who've exhausted their benefits. So what this means is these are the people who had used it up before December 27th. They'd used up all their claim weeks. So PUA had 39 weeks, PUC had 13 weeks on top of regular unemployment and extended benefits when there was a high unemployment period in Virginia. So if you've extended those 39 weeks on or before, you will now have to wait till 01/29/21. So and basically the end of January before these are done. Again, it may slip a few days into early February, which is not really great news. I know a lot of people are hoping this would be done sooner so that they could get these underlying PUA and PUC payments, but it also means now they won't get the $300 unemployment payment until these systems are in place. You'll still go back and get retro pay to January 2nd. So you'll still go back and get 5 weeks of retroactive payments, but you won't see anything in your bank accounts until after these programs are implemented, which I know is going to hit some people pretty badly. I'm hoping VEC can do it sooner, but this is their latest update they have. So whether it's PEUC or PUA, if you are an existing, if you've exhausted all your benefits prior to December 27th, you'll have to wait till they're done. And the main reason is you'll see it before here. It's really this is probably the biggest change in the new extension legislation is that they now have to provide proof of self-employment or employment, more documentation, and then state agencies have to verify the identity because there's been a lot of fraud with the PUA program in particular because it's essentially people who don't have regular income or W-2s or so they rely on 1099s and people who don't get, so it's hard for the agencies to verify their identity. So it's all pretty manual or, the automation is very limited. So to put all these changes in so that they meet Department of Labor guidelines to allow payment for these, they have to do all these things. So it's taking some time. And Virginia is not alone. There's probably only a few states, and you have the FPSU state tracker in the description below, savingtoinvest.com/300. There are a lot of states that are struggling to roll these updates for those people with exhausted benefits. I think new claimants should be able to apply because they still have to do documentation, but I think they'll be delayed as well. I've made some estimated dates, but I think new applicants, because of the additional documentation requirements, will also face delays in their ability to leverage these new programs because they'll almost be considered exhausted applicants. But that's still not very clear from the page over here. The last one here, which I'll just touch on, which is not being rolled out, is the mixed earner unemployment compensation. This is an extra $100 for those who sort of were eligible for PUA and PUC, but because of the fact they got into the program that gave them a lower benefit, they had a gap. So this is trying to address it by providing an extra $100 supplementary payment to PUA recipients who would have got a lower benefit because they only get PUA benefits. And there's another whole article I'll post in that, but that's not being rolled out. That is a completely new program. I don't think that'll be done until all the above are done. So probably looking at early February before that even comes out. So hopefully that gave you a little bit of an update on some of the new changes. Well, not new changes, the extensions that the VEC is rolling out. And it's not, you should definitely read this document and go to the website to see the information, but it's not always easy. So what I've done is I've tried to take this information and sort of just summarize it in a table format. And this is my sort of best sort of way of looking at it. And again, I'll say these are just estimates based on that document plus my interpretation. I don't work for the VEC. I'm not a unemployment lawyer or expert, and I don't know your unique situation. So please take this as informational, but hopefully it'll just give you a way of summarizing that document to this in a sort of easier format to look at. So what you'll see this table, the way it's broken up, you'll have the program on the left, and then what I've said is for active and regular UI claimants, that's the top section over there. They should all be able to apply from, they should be able to, the active regular claimant should be able to go in, get PUA if they run out of their regular UI benefits, and if they qualify PUA because they don't get into PUC. Again, the order is you have to, get qualify for regular benefits. Then if you get denied for that, you have to try for PEUC, and if you get denied for that, then you may qualify for PUA if your job loss was due to COVID. And you can see the VEC website in my pages for what the requirements are. But today, those people who are active claimants, they'll keep getting paid their current benefits under the UI or extended state benefits, so that they keep claiming that, but then they can apply for PEUC after that. So some people may have already run out of their UI or the EB. They may have just made it past December 27th, but then they can go and apply for PEUC. If they get denied for PEUC, they can go into PUA, but again, they have to wait for the PUA system to be updated. And the VEE site said 114. The system should be ready. I'm estimating 119 before they can actually make payments because of the MLK holiday, and over the weekend there's probably not much going to happen. So 119 is my estimate. The good thing is for this group of active claimants or getting extended state benefits who are filing weekly, they're getting paid their FPUC, which is the $300. That's actually happening now. I think that's already been paid for the previous week of January 2nd. So they're already seeing that. The next group, which is the active claim with remaining weeks after December 27th. So these are people who had a claim balance or claim weeks left in the UI portal from the December 27th. So those people can essentially get if they were in the PEUC program, they can start claiming now and start getting paid for that, and again they'll get retroactive payments for prior weeks. Those with on the PUA program have to wait till 119 or the week of 119 to start getting filing the continuing claims. The weeks will be carried over, and then the PUA program actually goes through April 10th, because you can use weeks until then. Even though the program finishes March 14th for new applicants, you can there is a phase out period till April 10th that people can leverage. So I think until 119 they can't even apply. And again, as soon as they are able to apply for the PUA program, they can start getting their FPUC back to the week ending January 2nd. So those who've exhausted benefits prior to December 27th, they again have to wait, and as you saw on the previous page, they have to wait till 129, end of January, basically, before they can even go and apply for PUA or PUC. Again, this is because the VEC has to go back and update all their state systems to allow people to go in and put the applications in, do the verifications, and it's going to take some time. So all that'll happen, and because of that, they won't be able to even get FPUC until 129, because while it's being able to be paid right now, that's in place. You have to get into one of those PUA or PEUC programs to get the FPUC. So that's why for those who have exhausted benefits, the fourth column on the slide here, nothing's going to happen till the end of January before they can get paid. And I'm hoping the VEC can do it sooner, but there's a lot of work to get done. There's hundreds and thousands of claims to process as well. And then the last column is new claimants. Again, I'm making a bit of an assumption here. This new claimants could actually fall into the exhausted benefits category, and that means they'll be delayed to 129. But assuming they can process new claimants under the PEUC program, because they can do active claimants, they should be able to apply now. Again, you'll have to wait for instructions, go online and try submitting a claim and see what happens. You should be able to see, because you have to first be rejected for regular UI. So I think they'll get regular UI first, and then they can go for PUC, and if they don't get that, they get PUA again from 119 at the earliest for PUA recipients. And if they get approved for either of these programs, they'll start getting paid the 300 FPUC payment as well. So hopefully, please look at these dates. You can listen to this recording again and go back to the VEC page, which I put there, to see if you fall into one of these categories. Leave a comment below, and I'll try and getting back to you if something's not clear or you have a unique situation. But hopefully this information was useful to you and helps clarify how the VEC is rolling out for Virginians, and I'm hoping that payments come sooner than later. Thanks, everyone. Bye.